Coming up on the Football Today podcast, Arsenal are back and back in a big way after a 5-0 win over an insipid Crystal Palace over the weekend. What's next for Crystal Palace and manager Roy Hodgson? They have only won 2 of their past 16 games across all competitions. We touch on Liverpool's big win over Bournemouth. Ivan Toney with a little trickery, scoring a goal in his comeback game. In the second half of the show, Leo comes in for a trivia question. And the transfer portal, not a lot's happening, but apparently Harry Kane's getting another one of his mates to Bayern. All that coming up right now on Football Today. Hello and welcome to the Football Today podcast. It is January 22nd, 2024. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, here to wrap up basically every game but the one that's on Tuesday morning of EPL Matchweek 21. I'm joined, as always, by the stats guy, McAllion there, sitting with a picture of the world and the Sparta flag behind him.
Yeah, I always forget I got the world flag behind me. Yeah, I got the Sparta Rotterdam flag, got the PSG top on. Pretty happy. Chelsea didn't play on the weekend, so I didn't have to be disappointed or stressed. So, yeah, it was a good weekend.
And Marcus Bazzano there, who has mixed his set designs there with the soccer shirt in the background, as well as all the cricket books that he has bought and possibly not read over the years.
Oh, I reckon I've probably read about 2 of these, I think. To be honest, a lot of them were my old man's, but there's no doubt I'll get to reading them. Just bringing up fake knowledge here, which is what I like to do.
Pretty much what we only do here on Football Today. So, as said, we are here to wrap up the 4 games that were played over the weekend in the EPL. Of course, you've got the game tomorrow morning between Brighton and Wolves. I'm pretty sure it is off the top of my head. So we'll go through the 4 games, talk about our performance of the week, the bell end of the week, so on and so forth, which includes the goal of the week. In the second half of the show, Leo will come in for a trivia question. We'll talk about what the Australians abroad are up to, including the Australians in the Asian Cup, as well as some potential transfer news and some fantasy updates from the last week or so, where I made an absolute balls up with my transfers in the most recent window. But as always, we start off with a yeah nah here on the Football Today show, and I think the stats guy is leading us off today.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Mo Salah's come back from AFCON with an injury. So Liverpool fans are a little bit worried and then they're not sure if he's going to go back. So the yeah nah is Mo Salah will play against Arsenal on Feb 5th, which is, a couple of weeks' time. Yeah nah.
I'm going to say yeah because I'm a conspiracy theorist. Like complete conspiracy that he's gone down with a slight strain and not staying with the team to do his rehab, but actually leaving AFCON, flying all the way back to England to continue his rehab. Every chance we will see him at the Emirates on the 5th of February, given the fact that it'll probably be a very decisive match in the EPL title race.
Oh,
yes, that's a really odd one, isn't it? But I'm going to go no. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist when it comes to football, but I think it's just going there. They probably have better treatment staff, better doctors, and better recovery systems there at Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp said that he will go back straight away to AFCON if Egypt qualify, which all you have to do is finish in the top 3 or 4. So, I think he'll go back and play in the knockouts for Egypt.
Yeah, I think Liverpool fans are crossing their fingers that Egypt just crumble and somehow don't make it through, but it looks like they will. But Alex, do you reckon Jurgen's just giving him a bit of extra money just to come back to play for them against Arsenal? Because they probably, will need him against Arsenal.
Well, I'm just having, it's a 6-hour flight. So the fact that, you're flying back from the Ivory Coast. But it's still 6 hours. And just with everything that goes into recovery, I don't think flying for 6 hours would be good for that sort of recovery. But anyway, I just feel like, there's potential that he will play, even if it is for 20 minutes that he comes on, scores a goal, and then flies back to AFCON if they make the semi-finals, because the semi-finals are on the 8th of February, and it has come out this morning that if Egypt do make the semi-finals, he will go back and potentially help them, make the final and go to eternal glory in AFCON. But again, total conspiracy theorist as an Arsenal fan, it's just fun.
Yeah. No, I think that either way, they're not going to go all the way. They rely on him a little bit too much, Egypt. So I don't think
they've had 2 draws from 2 games, so they're not going great.
Yeah, that's all good.
As always, with what the next part that we do here is we kick off with the Ange Ball status. And, this week it's MIA because Tottenham had the week off. So the Ange Ball status is no status this week.
Yeah, they're still, what are they, 5th? So they're still going all right. Hanging on to, I was going to say hanging on to 5th. They're 5 points above 6th, 3 points off the top 4, going well.
Yeah, no knock at all. So they'll be back fully fit, swinging into gear this week. Of course, we've got FA Cup 4th round, Carabao Cup semi-finals, and then a midweek round of the EPL. So it's about to get hectic once again. All right, performance of the week. We've only got 4 games to choose from this week. So the performance of the week, stats guy, you can kick us off.
Oh, we roasted him on last week's podcast on the Thursday, but he had an awesome game. Darwin Núñez, he got the brace, got 2 goals for Liverpool, just was really composed. I know the first goal was a bit of an easy one-on-one with the keeper, but in the past, sort of like Werner in the past, they were talking about just missing a lot of those chances, took his chance at the start, towards the start of the game, and then his second goal was awesome. He's done that a couple of times where they loop it in a massive cross from near the halfway line, and then Núñez just finished at bottom corner first time. So I just wanted to talk him up, the big man, the big Uruguayan. I think he did really well to get the 2 goals. Bournemouth, I know in the past we would have said, they're an easy team. They just needed to beat them. Bournemouth were in really good form, and Núñez was the main difference. So got to talk him up for once.
Yeah, and he did have an assist in there as well, so I can't really
knock his
performance. I think he's 10 goals and 10 assists across all competitions this year. Yeah. So actually he's playing well. He's just not converting in the Premier League, and he has missed way too many sitters for a gun striker. Marcus, we're playing off the same bat here, so you can lead us off.
Yep. Well, I just want to quickly touch on Diego Jota. He's literally turning into Salah when Salah's out, isn't he?
I know.
The past couple of seasons when he's at major tournaments. But my performance of the week, as much as I hate to say it, has to be Arsenal. A 5-0 win when the pressure was on for them to deliver, and they delivered with a 5-star performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was following along Arsenal with the 5-0 win over Palace. I don't, you look at results and say, 5-0 flatters them. 5-0 didn't flatter Arsenal. And this can sort of roll onto my bell end of the week of who's not hot. Because I think this game more had to do with how pathetic Crystal Palace were than how good Arsenal actually were. There was 2 goals in the space of 90 seconds to end the game. I stayed up to watch the game because I was like, I don't want to be sort of tossing and turning and then like going, oh, God, Crystal Palace. From the outset of this game, Crystal Palace just set up with no intention to try and win the game whatsoever. There was more attempts to frustrate Arsenal and hopefully nick a 0 or draw out of it. It was a really poor performance from the team, and you could see the Crystal Palace fans towards the end of the game. They held up a banner when they were 3-0 down. It was wasted potential on and off the pitch, weak decisions taking us backwards. Another was more personal, which came out after it with no shared vision, no structured plan, Parish out and Yanks out. So that's a real crack at the Crystal Palace board and people running the joint there. They've only had 1 win since the start of October and 2 wins in their last 16 games overall. And the game plan that they trotted out at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday afternoon their time, it was just, how are you meant to try and do anything against one of the better teams in the league with that sort of, it wasn't even tactics. It was just, we're going to hope that Arsenal just aren't on their game. And, of course, Arsenal did take advantage of their chances to score goals, like the 3rd goal that they scored with the 11-second from, tail to top there from the David Raya clearance was fantastic with Trossard finishing. Like, they just got caught out a few times, 2 set-piece goals. The second goal was an embarrassing performance in the box. They tried to claim the foul on the goalie when Ben White was literally just standing there and he's like, I can't move. Go out and claim the ball, mate, or at least try to do something. It was just a horrendous performance all around. Arsenal deserved to win. Crystal Palace questions deservedly asked about Roy Hodgson and that board.
Yeah, I know. Is Roy getting a bit old for his tactics? I don't know. They just don't look right at all. Their list isn't too bad. I think they're much closer to a mid-table team than how they're playing at the moment. Especially, what did you say? Their last 1 win since the start of October. That's horrible for their usual standards. So yeah, there's got to be some question marks on Big Roy.
And they got such good young talent in that squad as well that you want to showcase on the attacking front foot, and you got Roy Hodgson in there. But you said you were tossing and turning, Alex. You would have been if you went to bed. But does that mean big old Roy Hodgson's in there in your nightmares?
Well, it just more would have been the fact that Arsenal potentially missed easy chances and just like, not again, and just, wanting to punch myself after watching 20 minutes of that game against Fulham a few weeks ago. But we're talking about the young players at Crystal Palace. Like, Eze was fantastic. He caused a lot of problems for Arsenal in midfield. He did give up the ball very softly, which led to the 4th goal. And, of course, Elise wasn't playing. He's out injured at the moment. So no knock there. And their striker, Maleta, whatever his name is. Mateta. Big physical beast, and just had to try and take on William Saliba. And, very strong, competition between the two. But just, he never got a chance to do anything. Yeah. Him and Saliba was a fair contest. Saliba won, but it was just, he got no service.
Yep. Fair call.
Yep. Who was yours there, stats guy?
I'm going to go Kufal. I was talking up West Ham the other week, and they've obviously had a horrible month. They were winning 2-1. I'm pretty sure it was the 94th minute. Kafal in the space of 10 minutes in that around the 80th minute and then the 93rd minute, he gets 2 quick yellows, put the Hammers back under pressure, and then they draw 2-2 in the 103rd minute. If he didn't get that second yellow, they were a little bit soft, but they were probably there. He sort of went in at people's ankles and things like that. He's got to be smarter than that. He's a very experienced player for West Ham. He's definitely my bell-end of the week because if he didn't get that red card, I reckon they would have held on for a 2-1 win when they desperately need a win because they just keep dropping down the table. They probably it probably deserved to be a draw. Both teams played really well, but yeah, Kufal pretty much cost them the game when the other team so Sheffield United already had a red card as well. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, just put them under pressure straight away and they lost. Drew 2-2, but it would have felt like a loss for West Ham fans. So I'm really annoyed with Kufal on that one.
Well, the first yellow card was I think it was for some referee abuse or dissent because
yes, actually,
it was the red card in the 90th minute to the Sheffield United player for going studs up at the ankle, which
that was bad, yeah. Yeah.
But then the second yellow card was he literally stood on someone's ankle as they were trying to make a run through. So it was 2 yellow cards that were there, and deservedly so. There's a lot that could be said about that game with the potential non-penalty to West Ham late. I feel like that penalty not given was the right call. Yeah. And there was the penalty when Areola absolutely smashed McBurney, and I was all for that penalty given because we've seen a few times this year those penalties not given where the keepers just come out and clapped it into an opposition player, nowhere near the ball. I like it. I think there'll be more penalties like that for the rest of the year. Marcus, who is your bell-end of the week? You've got Arsenal fans written down. What's this?
Oh, Alex.
No, I do have Arsenal fans. They're not. Sorry, Alex, not you in general, but I'm talking about Arsenal fans who attended the Emirates on the weekend because 3-0 up, 80th minute, big game, and almost half. No, I wouldn't say half. That's a bit unfair, but I think a fair majority of fans are already walking out the stadium.
That's weird.
And you go on to score 2 more goals, win 5-0 comprehensively. So I'm not sure what that's all about. You got to stay to the final whistle, particularly if you're at a big club like Arsenal with lofty expectations. And it just wasn't a good look to see half of the behind the camera, half the stand empty when in the 85th minute when you're 3-0 up.
Yeah, there would have been probably 5,000 to 6,000 fans that would have left in that period of time, and they've missed 2 great goals by Gabriel Martinelli, a player who needed to score some goals and find some form, and really did. It was very weird to see, and even one of the commentators, I've forgotten his name off the top of my head, I tweeted out on the weekend that he, during the game, that he's an awesome analyst. I've just completely spaced on his name. Fantastic analysis of the game. He's like, geez, those Arsenal fans that left would be feeling pretty flat right now after missing 2 Martinelli goals. Maybe they'll get to the bar or whatever, but one of my bucket list things is to go to an Arsenal game at the Emirates. Even if we were losing 3-0, I would sit there and just cop
Exactly, yeah.
I've sat through my beloved Sydney Swans get beaten 90 points in a grand final. I stayed to the final siren and even watched friggin' Joel Selwood lift the trophy. I sat through it all. You've got to sit there and cop it. Fair enough if you've travelled, 200 kilometres up the highway to go somewhere and you're losing 3-0, fair enough to leave early. But if you're at a home game, sit there and cop it, I say.
It was weird. That was. I've been to the Emirates before. It actually is. Lots of the Premier League grounds are a pain to get home, and it takes an hour to you to walk to and stuff. But when you're winning, surely you just want to lap it all up, and you'd be running around the streets with the whole fan and the whole area where Arsenal's ground is would just be pumping. So that was very weird, and definitely, they can get stuffed. I reckon you got to stay for your team.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, goal of the week. We had a fair few nominations for this over the weekend, but I think on a individual skill level, there was one that stood clear above the rest, and Marcus and I are on the same page once again. Danilo for Nottingham Forest, that volley into the top corner. My God, what a finish that was.
How good was that? Touch off his quad and then volleyed at home. Honourable mention to I think Mope as well. Had a really good finish. That's also a tough one, but we're gonna go Danilo there.
Yeah, Danilo, that was awesome. I think the 3 best goals of the weekend were in this game. I think the one you just mentioned there, Mope, you got Danilo, but I'm going to talk about Ivan Toney as well. Obviously, he hasn't played in 8 months, come back, might have bet on himself to score again. I'm not sure if he'll get away with that anymore, but he had real composure to finish bottom corner on that free kick. The free kick was awesome. I watched some highlights and stuff, but then when I watched it back, the wall setup was really bad. You got to cover the near post. When the keeper's on the other side and they didn't set up, that was a horrible wall, but it was still a really good finish to finish a bottom corner from a free kick, especially when he hasn't played a EPL game for 8 months. But I just want to, maybe that's a bell-end of the week as well, just a late call up for some Sheffield United defenders, not Sheffield United.
Nottingham Forest
defenders in that wall. That was a really weird wall setup, but goal of the week for me has to be Ivan Toney. I think it's amazing.
I'm blaming the goalkeeper on that one. The wall was so off. Like, he had a meter to like a clear net. If he could have just passed that in, which is basically what he did anyways.
Yeah.
So none of you saw him move the ball and the chalk that the referee drew? Neither of you saw that? He literally moved the ball probably half a meter to his right and moved the chalk. Yeah. So
he is so
how did he move the chalk?
He just scooped it up and just rolled it around.
Oh, did he actually?
Yeah. How have none of you seen this? I was just like, hold on. Surely Marcus has been like, hold on here. But no, Ivan Toney literally moved the ball to his right, picked up the chalk, scooped it around. I feel like
if you're the wall, you see that. You move with it. I don't know.
So that's how he got that extra little bend, because he'd moved the ball to his right.
Well, there you go. A bit of extra.
Ban him for 8 more months.
Exactly. Yeah,
he had to be goal of the week for me. Good.
I'll also give Arsenal a shout out for the team goal for their third goal, where David Raya took the ball in the box, threw it out to Gabriel Jesus, who finished to Trossard, who finished really well there. They just caught who did we play again? Of space, Crystal Palace on a counter attack, and an 11-second coast to coast goal. It was fantastic and really just put the game to bed. The Mackenzie Arnold Perpetual Motion Award, aka the Minister of Defence, for the best save. I got nothing this week because nothing really springs to mind for great saves. So I'm going to just give some props to Alisson and David Raya for getting clean sheets.
Yeah, I was going to do the same because of Raya getting a clean sheet. I think he had a decent game. The chances that Crystal Palace did had he stopped. You mentioned how he was a part of that goal. I think that was a really good all-round performance from Raya. So not in terms of best save, but just all-round game I'm going to give Raya as well.
Yeah, again, none of the games really stood out for me this weekend. Didn't watch many, so I'll just have to do the clean sheet props and give it to Alisson and Raya.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, 6 clean sheet there for David Ryan, possibly his best all-round performance for Arsenal so far since he's come across. So really good to see him do that. Once this Aaron Ramsdale thing is done in the next transfer window, obviously that'll be sort of much more settled, shall we say. Other games to talk about, I suppose we can talk about Brentford's big win over Nottingham Forest. That was a big result for them. 3-2, obviously. Really good game if you actually sat down and watched it there. Chris Wood, again, scoring a goal, and then Mope putting them back in front 3 minutes later. I'd say a deserved win there for Brentford, but Notts Forest will rue some missed chances to not snatch a draw away, but probably a very good result for Brentford with the way that they've been going recently. And Notts, with those potential points deductions hanging over their head, will see this as an opportunity missed.
Yeah, I know. Brentford, what was it? I think they've won 2 of their last 9 now. So that Notts were probably thinking, this is a chance we can at least snatch a draw. But the crowd, I just want to give a shout out. We're talking about Arsenal's crowd not being too good, but Brentford's crowd, I think they were up and about because Tony was back. The noise they were making, it was unbelievable. Every time they were in attack, I just watched the highlights again before. Yeah, the noise they were making at G-Tech. I think you also showed the feed you get at G-Tech Community Stadium if you want to check that out on Twitter. I just saw that before the show. That stadium is absolutely buzzing. I think not only have they got some really exciting players, but the food there as well. That's probably what they're excited about.
Yeah. Well, Socceroos played there not long ago, didn't they?
Yes.
In the friendly as well. But yeah, I think Notts, it's definitely a bit of a kick in the teeth, isn't it? Considering they just got financial breaches laid upon them.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Footy Screen. I think it was $7 or £7, for this burger and chips combo. It looked phenomenal.
That looked really good, yeah.
We need to go to Club Bruges, G-Tech Stadium, and there's some other stadium that we need to go to. So when Football Today goes worldwide, that's where we're going. Don't eat that. We'll skip the Emirates. We'll skip Stamford Bridge. We'll go somewhere like we'll go to
Millwall.
We'll go to Stoke on a cold Tuesday night. That's what we'll do.
Yes.
All right, let's get to some fantasy updates from the weekend. I'll self-report here. I made an absolute balls up. I transferred out Gabriel last week.
Oh, no.
And then he scores, and I still think that second goal should have been given to him, but he got given an assist for it. The clean sheet bonus, the minutes bonus, 17 points for Gabriel. I traded him out, and my replacement got 7 points. So not the worst result, but boy, 17 points for Gabriel.
I
just
know.
really kicking the shin there.
Oh, yeah.
That is pretty stiff. I want to talk about, I know Spurs didn't play this week, but it was still the same game week for fantasy. Richarlison, I think he's still a really good, I did a wild card for fantasy before this game week. I was like, do I bring him in? A little bit risky, Richarlison, but he can't stop scoring. So he scored 5 the last 6 weeks, still only 7 mil, which is reasonably cheap for a guy that's scoring that many goals in fantasy prem. So I don't mind him as a bit of a cheap one. I feel like I'm going to say this and then he won't score for another couple of months. But the way they're playing, even with Sonny out as well, I feel like he's the only one that's going to be scoring in attack for him. So don't mind to pick him for $7 million. Good option.
100%. There's some big teams playing some lower clubs coming up in the next week. Next match there. So you might have to look at getting them in. Arsenal playing Notts, who aren't in the best of form. City at home to Burnley. Tottenham at home to Brentford. So could be some big points on offer to some players.
Triple captain time on Haaland, maybe. I feel like I penciled that one in.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne. Haaland might not be back, actually, yeah, he might not be back. So maybe De Bruyne, even if he only plays 20 minutes, he's going to get 2 assists. So.
Yeah, he's on some sort of restricted program that's only allowing him a maximum of 30 minutes for the next month. So, yeah, that could be a bit of Barney rubble there. Just imagine that. Kevin De Bruyne coming off the bench as Newcastle saw a few weeks ago. I played that triple that free hit on the transfers a few weeks ago. I bought in Virgil van Dijk, so not the worst result in the world.
That's right,
Gabriel, but there was David Ray is now in when Edison went down, so that was my changes there.
Nice.
All right, that's the first half of the show done and dusted. We'll take a break. You're going to hear Stats Guy talk about the not award-winning Cricket Today podcast. It should win an award because it's the only cricket podcast that talks about cricket today. We'll be back after this.
Lock in for a huge summer of slog sixes, rattle bales, and classic snags with the daily Cricket Today podcast. Keep up to date with all things BBL, BBL Supercoach, Tests, ODIs, and T20s this summer, as well as the highlights and socials all season long. Search Cricket Today on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
All right, welcome back to the Football Today podcast. As always, when we start off the second half of the show, we bring in social guy Leo to hit us up with the trivia question. As a reminder, the scorecard, we're all on 2.5 because we're not great at trivia, apparently. Leo, welcome in.
All right, boys, you already touched on him earlier in the show, but Diego Jota, he scored 2 goals and had an assist this morning. How many fantasy points did he score? And
I don't play fantasy.
If none of you get it, I'll go closer soon.
I'll give you some hint. Oh, actually, I'm not going to give you a hint. Why would I do that?
No hints allowed.
No hint. So you got goal, assist,
27.
Wait, what? No,
27.
20.
I'm gonna go 22.
Wait, you said he's got 2 goals and an assist, right?
2 goals and an assist.
6, 12, 15.
22.
I'm going to go...
Hurry up, Stats Guy.
I'm going 18. I don't think it's above 20.
All right, you're all wrong, but Stats Guy's the closest. It was 19 points.
Oh, I was going to say 18. 19. Yes, it wouldn't be above 20 because you get 6 for a goal, 6 times 2, and then you get 3 for an assist, and then you would have got 3.
You still got it wrong.
3 bonus points. Yeah, I was only 1 off, though. I'll take that. That's a dub. That's a dub.
Plus the minutes. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
closest.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Leo's
Closest
charity points.
Closest to the pin gets a half point. He didn't get it right, so therefore,
we'll go half. We'll go half.
Wait, how many was Alex off? 9 off. I was 1 off.
And
should be minus points.
Man, I can't wait to what bounces at your head tomorrow. Coming to your airwaves soon. Football Today and Cricket Today are doing a combined, just a bunch of sporting activities fun out at the father of Stats Guy, the great Mark McAllion, out at his school. We're using their cricket nets and soccer.
Bayern Sports Academy. Yeah, we got some good fun. So get around the socials over the next couple of weeks. We'll probably do lots of stuff that will go out for a while now. So yeah, check that out. It'll be good fun.
Just going to smash tennis balls and Stats Guy. That's what
I'll just be hitting for 6, mate.
Yeah, right. cricket balls, mate. I don't know what you.
Yeah, no. You get the tennis. You get the tennis racket from short range. Really, really right in the kidneys. That really hits. Instead of those high catches, just wham straight.
You know how in soccer the punishment is like say a loser, we do it like a red ass.
Yeah.
The punishment for cricket is red ass, but you get slapped by actual cricket ball.
I'm not consenting to that.
I don't think News Corp's insurance will cover that.
Yeah, it covers. You're allowed to. I think ours covers a soccer ball.
Ours covers
the body, but not a cricket ball.
Ours actually does cover abusive Stats Guy, so we should be sweet.
I'm not coming tomorrow.
All right, let's get into the All Aussie Football Adventures, and we'll start off with the women before we get into the men's and the Asian Cup. Arsenal had a big win over Everton on a Saturday night. Caitlin Ford scored the opener there as they strolled to a 3-1 victory. Not a lot happened in this game. Arsenal were dominant and were sort of always going to win the game. Their goal was from just a defensive calamity where Katie McCabe could have come come across and chopped off the ball, but for somehow she didn't take on someone, which was really weird. Katrina Gorry debuted for West Ham overnight in an awesome game against Tottenham. Unfortunately, they lost 4-3. I think this also marked Charlie Grant's first full debut as well. Yeah. Sam Kerr was in the stands watching her beloved fiancée, Kirsty Mewis, make her debut as well. Great game, 4-3 win to Tottenham. West Ham really need to start winning games or they're a chance of getting relegated at the end of the WSL season. And Alana Kennedy celebrated her birthday over the weekend as Manchester City won 5-0. So go with Manchester City.
Nice.
That's all I've got.
They're going really well. No, that's good. I think it's exciting. We got some of the since that Women's World Cup, there's just Matildas popping up everywhere in the WSL. We're loving it. Yeah.
They did announce the starting times of the Australian games against Uzbekistan in the Olympic qualifiers coming up. Fantastically, both games start at 8 p.m. Australian time, so that is absolutely awesome. The Uzbekistan game is the first one. It starts at 8 a.m. our time, which I think is 2 p.m. local time, so we'll be able to watch that in prime time. And then, of course, on the following Wednesday night, I believe it is, we play at Etihad Stadium here, and that's at 8 p.m. local time where they have already sold out the stadium. Let's just hope it's a bit of a celebration after the Matildas have won the first leg 3-0, and we can just celebrate for 90 minutes.
That would be pretty good, just to cheer and celebrate that.
Just vibes, straight up vibes.
That would be the dream.
Yeah. All right, take us through the Asian Cup. We won. It wasn't great, but we won.
I was talking to Marcus and Leo about this while I was watching it. It was so ugly. I think Marcus touched on it the other day. I wrote this down. When teams sit back against the Socceroos, we just don't know what to do. In the World Cup, we look really good, I think, because obviously other teams are very attacking against us. We can sit back a bit and go on the counter-attack. But when we're the big dogs and we have to try and dribble around people or make some really nice passes, we just look horrible. I know we won 1-0 against Syria. They were okay on the counter-attack, but we just don't know how to make enough chances. And I unfortunately don't see us going very far in this tournament, the Socceroos. Yeah.
Plain and simple, we were terrible, but still got the win. Graham Arnold, I don't know what you're thinking. You're starting Aziz Bayic, and then our left back, and then you're putting our best left back, most up and coming, one of our best youngsters, Jordan Boss, and you're playing him on the wing.
Yeah.
When we've got some heaps of young talent like Marco Tilio, Sam Silvera, Yengi, Goodwin, all these sorts of players, Martin Boyle, all can play out wide. And I don't know why you're starting Jordan Boss out there. I guess he scored when he came on as a substitute, but seriously, some of those decisions, and it looked like the squad hadn't even met each other before. Like the way that they were playing was so poor. It was a lot of sideways, and geez, we're very, very lucky to actually get away with that.
Yeah, I think I know we've already made it through the next round, so that's a big tick. Obviously, we made it through the next round, but we had an easy group. McGree came on, and he looked really good. I think McGree should be in the starting lineup for every Socceroos game for every single tournament at the moment. He's absolutely awesome. When you got the likes of O'Neill in the midfield, really, really, really poor from him, I think. And I just think, Graham Arnold, as you said, he's either picking the wrong guys or putting him in the wrong positions. And I think we got away with it a little bit in the World Cup because, as I said, we could sit back and play a bit more defensive. But when we need to play attacking, you need to play those attacking players on the field. So, a bit worried about the Socceroos at the moment.
Well, and the good thing about sort of how these results have gone, despite us not going great, but the fact that we're winning, there is potential that if everything plays out the way it looks like it's going to play out, we're going to end up on the different side of the draw of Japan and South Korea. Obviously, Japan losing to Iraq sort of threw that into a little bit of a, just chaos. But there's the potential for both teams to end up on the other side of the table, and we could really have an easy run through to the semifinals and potential final, one of the easier runs that we would have expected to get the run in. There is the potential if Japan win the way everyone should in their final games their final game against Indonesia this Wednesday, that they play each other in the round of 16, which would be utter chaos.
Really? Oh, geez. I think, we can't discredit Iran and Saudi Arabia. They're going all right as well. I think in the World Cup, especially Saudi Arabia weren't too bad. They beat Argentina. So I feel like there's probably like 3 or 4 teams at least, although we're going to make it through, they're looking a bit better than us. So it'll be interesting, but hopefully we just get the lineup right and sort of, like Marcus said, look like they've played together by the time we get to the round of 16 in the finals. So fingers crossed.
Yep. All right, let's get to the transfer portal. There's not much happening. It's pretty boring. It's a really weird transfer window with just on 9 days to go. Fabrizio Romano is trying his best to drum up some interest in what's going on. There's nothing happening apart from Kieran Trippier apparently heading across to Bayern Munich on a transfer, which is really weird because Harry Kane's just getting the old Tottenham lads back together.
Yeah, is that going to happen? I haven't really.
He's come back from New York from his holiday early by all reports, so there is a chance that this could go through.
I'd be very surprised if that transfer went through, and I'm very surprised that Bayern Munich are actually showing interest in him because he is getting on now, isn't he? Was probably like 32-ish, I reckon, Kieran Trippier.
Something like that.
Well, Bayern have been a bit weird in the trend. Like getting Eric Dyer was out of nowhere for a guy who wasn't even playing in the Premier League, like getting minutes in the Premier League. Maybe just Harry Kane's like, can you just get some of my mates just to come over? I'm a bit bored over here. Just scoring goals, not fun enough for me. I don't know. That Bayern have some of the targets they're going for. They don't really need. It's just going to be guys sitting on their bench, and maybe the Trippier's like, I wouldn't mind winning the trophy. Obviously, Dyer would say the same thing. So yeah, it's been interesting.
So it's very funny that you say that, Stats Guy, because as of this morning, Bayern Munich are now 7 points off the league leaders, Bayern Leverkusen. So
they are awesome, yeah.
Harry Kane going to Bayern Munich just to win trophies. Well, it looks like Bayern Munich are cursed to not win a trophy while Harry Kane is there.
Yes.
With Kieran Trippier, he does have 18 months left on his contract. So there is the chance that Newcastle, who desperately need some incoming money, if they want to spend some money, may sell Kieran Trippier to then fund a purchase or a potential loan deal, given the fact that Tino Livramento, or whatever his last name is, I can't pronounce it. Livramento is the next, is going to be slotted straight into where Trippier is. That's their next plan. And of course, you've got Tonali due to come back sometime next season as well, after they spent 60 million on him and he's being suspended. So very interesting times, especially with Newcastle. They desperately need to bring some players in to turn around their season.
Yeah, I just want to say about Leverkusen quickly that they're undefeated still. They're unbelievable at the moment. They've just got such a good squad that's playing well together. And yeah, but they're crazy. The first time Harry Kane goes over there, it would be the first time in a long time that Bayern don't win the league.
Yeah, they got some young ballers there too. Florian Wirtz, excellent attacking midfielder. But Tino Livramento is another Chelsea Academy product that we've let go. So another one bites the dust.
Yeah, no good.
Yeah. That's not at all ideal. But anyway, that is us done and dusted for this week, or not this week, this Monday episode on Football Today. Hopefully we'll be back to regular programming next week, where we'll do potentially Tuesdays. We'll figure that out as we go, or potentially in studios on Monday mornings. But we'll be back on Thursday, so we'll be taking a look at the FA Cup games coming up this weekend. I believe we have Carabao Cup in the midweek as well.
They're before the FA Cup, the semi-finals.
Yep. So we will touch on the two semi-finals, what's happened there as we look ahead to the final of that. Run through the FA Cup, talk about Australia, what's going on there over in the Asian Cup, and anything else that sort of springs to mind. But good stuff today, lads. Good show. Cheers, Stats Guy.
Thank you. Good fun.
Thanks, Marcus.
Lovely stuff, Alex.
Yeah, shout out to Leo for his question there, and of course to our mad producer Gerald. He is the absolute best, absolutely doing a mountain of work at the moment. Is old Geraldo. Of course, follow us on social media at Football Today Pod, Football Today AU across TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. We're all across there, posting some stuff basically every day about what's going on in the world of football and anything else. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Please give us a 5-star rating and leave us a review. Those are very important for the old algorithm and getting us out to the greater world, and hopefully spreading the football today and what we do here, which is just talking football today. Anyway, we are done and dusted. We'll catch you on Thursday on the next episode of Football Today.